What are you seeking? This past week, 18,000 Catholics asked themselves that question. To answer it, they traveled from all across the nation, from their respective homes to the chilly mountains of Utah. Rather than spending the new year with family, they came here, to Salt Lake City, to discover what matters most to them. What did they find? Well, I will tell you myself, and that would make it easier for me. But I think this is the kind of story which begs to speak for itself. So I'll let them tell you.
Really didn't know what to expect. When people were inviting me to come here, they said, "Hey, you just became Catholic. It'll be great for your formation if you come and participate in this like big convention." And I was like, "Sweet, I'd love to do that."
So we were at a business conference, me and my family, this past summer, and I remember this one guy was telling me and my dad about Seek, and he was like, "It's in Utah," which was like kind of crazy too. It's like, what, Utah? That's interesting, you know? It makes you think a little bit. And then I remember like I thought on it more and more, and then like this past semester, I like texted my dad. I was like, "We got to do this. Like as a family, we got to come to Seek."
Well, can you tell me what brought you to Seek and what you've been hoping to find here?
Yeah, so my missionaries invited me to come a couple months ago because I was just confirmed into the church about a month ago. So that was big. So it was really exciting that I got to come and be surrounded by a bunch of other Catholics my age and get to like form a community.
Something infectious about just being a pilgrim. So many of us are being pilgrims right now because we traveled from all over the U.S. to gather here in this moment, and we don't know each other yet. It's day one. And my own experience from Seek last year was like you make this journey with people for 5 days, and you become like this spiritual family for a moment to build each other up.
And man, I'm so excited. The main thing I'm looking for is obviously to grow in a deeper relationship with Christ, which, you know, basic answer, but obviously that's why we're all here. And the community, which is crazy. And one thing that stands out to me a lot is when you think the word Catholic, it means universal, of course. And you can really see that.
And so yeah, being here, like you just realize that the faith is so old, so historic, and so widespread. Really like held and believed.
I was just at the Vatican because I was studying abroad this past semester. And I was at the Vatican, and I don't think I've ever seen more Catholics in a room than right here. It's insane. Like when you're standing in the middle, it's like you can't even like see how far. And it's like, dang, these are all, and young too. Like everyone here is like basically in their 20s for the most part, which is insane to see.
You just see the unity in all these Catholics from across the nation. You know, I've seen flags from all over the United States and all these different people who we all share the same faith. We all have the same love for Jesus Christ, and I find it to be so beautiful.
So that kind of goes back to what I'm saying. Like Catholic means universal, and you can see that very profoundly, especially here. And it's beautiful.
Well, I mean, have you been at Mass? Like, just take a look at that. If you look out, no, don't. Obviously, the point of Mass is the Eucharist and give thanks to God. But if you take a moment to look out amongst the crowds at Mass, you can just see the joy in everyone's face as they're looking up towards God. And that's just amazing. I mean, like, it's simple in terminology, but like it's just amazing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I really love this conference. This is my third time being here, I believe now. And both the times I've been here prior, I mean, just amazing. Like, first time I ever came to Seek changed my life, like, unironically, put me on the right path, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't come my sophomore year.
Well, this is actually, I just counted it while we were sitting earlier, and this is probably like my fifth Seek now.
Wow.
So this, at this point, it's kind of been like, I just go, you know, it's one of the things I do. But every time, I always learn something new. I know a lot of people experience like big conversion stories throughout Seek, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good things that come from it, but my experience hasn't been like that. My experience has been little developments. There's been little things each year that have been able to culminate in what I am today, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful. I mean, because just even that, even little movements, it's so incredible because we oftentimes go through periods of spiritual drought where we don't have much going on. We don't have much in the way of spiritual movement. But it's like whenever you go to a place like this in just 5 days, it's like always something incredible is going to happen. just because of the environment and what we experience here. So it's really incredible. Are you a convert?
Yeah,
What'd you convert from?
I was a Baptist.
You were Baptist.
I was a Baptist. Like, I don't know how to describe this feeling to anybody else who's not here, because everywhere you turn, everybody wants to be your friend. Like, there's no weird judgment of walking up and like talking to random people, or like just being so authentically you, because that's what we're all here to do. And it's so beautiful. The piety's been insane. I got the chance to really sit down and talk to a lot of people with in religious life for the last couple days, and all of their life stories and why they chose religious life and their relationships with Jesus and how they've grown over the years is so beautiful. And you can definitely you can see Jesus in every single person here.
I find that to be so beautiful. It's one of the draws of Catholicism that I'm sure drawed you, and it certainly did for me, is just that it's so universal. I mean, everybody, I feel like I've seen people from like most of the states in the United States. I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody from, at least one person from every state. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody from Hawaii or Alaska, personally.
I heard there was a group of Alaska girls this morning. I did see a group of Alaska girls.
Okay, well, there you go. There is people from Alaska. But anyway, it's like all these people all carrying their flags from their universities, from their states, and yet we all share this same faith, this same profound faith and zeal for Christ, which has drawn us to come together and to worship with one another. I find it to be profound.
Oh, it's so beautiful, because I mean, yeah, as you look around, everybody's so different, and I mean, the cultures of every state and university is so different, but knowing that we are all grounded in Christ and grounded in the Catholic Church, it's so cool. It's so beautiful. And I think that other religions, it's not something you see. I know I didn't. Like, as a Protestant, I was a church camp counselor and everything, and I mean, like, yeah, like, you feel God, but like, I've never felt Jesus so like hard in a room until I was here. Like, adoration last night was insane. I've never gotten to worship like that with 20,000 people. It was so beautiful. And like I said, like, that's a type of feeling that if you're not Catholic, you can't understand it. It's really hard to explain what that's like to non-Catholics, but man, I hope that everybody in the world gets to experience that feeling one day.